Even on yet another ugly day, some stocks still manage to power higher. Just look at Take-Two Interactive, TTWO. That's the video game company most commonly known as the maker of Grand Theft Auto, but they also have a host of other popular franchises like Max Payne, Red Dead Redemption, Borderlands, Evolve, XCOM, and all the terrific sports titles. Don't forget NBA 2K. This one was actually a bit of a puzzler. Last night, Take-Two reported a stellar quarter coupled with what I regard as extremely conservative guidance, which is very much Take-Two style, something you know I like a great deal. The company earned 46 cents a share. That's 20 cents more than Wall Street was looking for on substantially higher than expected revenue. The conservative forecast was why the stock opened down more than 6% this morning. Within 15 minutes, the darn thing turned positive, ultimately closed up 4.5%. But you don't buy this stock for short-term guidance. You buy it for its long-term franchises, so I'd never bet against these guys. So let's check in with Strauss Zelnick, the chairman and CEO of Take-Two Interactive, to get a better sense of the quarter and his company's prospects. Mr. Zelnick, welcome back to Mad Money. A tireless Strauss. All right, that's got to be good luck. He had a big gain today. Strauss, the story is finally known. This is a story about recurrent consumer spending, and finally it seems that people realize that it doesn't really matter what's going to happen next quarter. What happens is the development of the franchises.
Right, exactly. Well, I think what we've been saying all along is if you make the highest quality product, if you meet the consumers where they are, whatever platform they want, whatever type of experience they want, and if you do it over and over again, eventually things come to the good. Now,
let's talk about some of these, because there's a moment that is coming up that is someone like me wants to buy, which is the Legends NBA, Kobe. At the same time, we're going to find out who's going to be on the NBA 2K 2017. This seems like the ascendant moment for the NBA and the ascendant moment for you.
Look, NBA continues to do better and better. It's just remarkable.
Right.
And I think we still believe we're scratching the surface. We're an enormous game in the U.S., we're the biggest game in the U.S. now. We still have international markets to develop.
31 million in China?
That's NBA 2K Online.
Okay,
31 million registered users in China,
yeah,
and record revenue for us now. So that's a great business. We developed that some years ago. But yes, basketball is growing, and we think there's a lot of opportunity still.
Right, now I happened to catch it. I thought it was the game. I'm not blowing smoke. Is it possible that it could be confused? Because I thought it was.
You know, I think if you squint a little bit or you walk by, it looks exactly like a basketball game. Why is that? We have the largest motion capture studio in North America. We scanned, of the 447 players on the roster, we've scanned 92% of them. We have 100,000 player animations, including all the trademark moves. We have every tattoo. We have hair color. We have eye color. You know, this is the game is real. The game has become real. You get to play the real game.
Well, I've got to tell you that I think that the idea that you can create your own team, that I can be the boss, is actually something that not just younger people, but people in their 20s, 30s, 40s are into.
Right. We're really turning this into a broad-based experience. It's a character experience. It's a story experience in addition to being a simulation.
Well, because of that is the thing that I was most concerned about was I joke about with David Faber, how much time can people spend on games? I mean, don't we reach at some point an end game? I mean, 45 minutes, 50 minutes a day, but it seems like that's not occurring. So why isn't it?
You know, every time we predict that the media day is going to reach an asymptote, It doesn't. It seems to get bigger and bigger. Why is that? Because there are so many different choices, and I'm not just talking about video games, I'm talking about everything else. And I think because people parallel process. So if you look at, an average young adult, they're playing a video game and texting and listening to music and watching Netflix all at once. Maybe they're doing some homework too. Maybe not.
But you've done it so easy on the handheld that while they're sitting and waiting, we do nothing. My age group does nothing, right? Maybe we brought a magazine, maybe we didn't. They are on.
Right, they're on. They're engaged.
It's incredible.
They're engaged, they're communicating, and they're being entertained. And for us, that's great news, as long as we entertain them.
Okay, at one point in your conference call, it was a little disturbing for me because I'm a huge believer. I've tried virtual reality. I've had the headset. But you said it's still not a consumer product yet. But what's it going to take?
Well, it takes both the launch of hardware, and there's a little bit out in the market, not very much, and the launch of software that people love. And it's still, it's still a $0 billion market at the consumer level. Now, where will it go? We'd rather not vote because we are where the consumer is. We are doing R&D, and our intellectual property will make great VR games if that's what people want. But we don't need to bet the farm on a particular format or platform. We need to always show up where the consumer is.
But you said if. I mean, Mark Zuckerberg talks about when. Are you more skeptical about virtual reality?
You know, I don't have. Mark Zuckerberg has to vote because he owns Oculus Rift, so he already committed $1 billion.
Right.
You know, I like to be in a position where our commitments are to the intellectual property, not to a particular distribution mechanism.
Okay. There was something that jumped out at me on the conference call that kind of people don't talk about, but there's an NBA 2K June finals. You run a contest. $250,000. There's a huge number of people who are competing for this, right?
We've had 92,000 teams play 2 million games, and this is our first time at it. And why are we involved?
We've never done this before.
No, we've never done it. Why are we involved with esports? First of all, very exciting category.
Right.
Secondly, it's another way to delight consumers and create engagement. By the way, when they're engaged, that generates spending in the game, and that's one of the reasons recurrent consumer spending was more than a quarter of our net revenue last year.
Well, when I saw this, I said to myself, once again, I mean, I think that, I don't want to say you lucked into it, but there is a renaissance in basketball.
Right.
And a Steph Curry, China. I mean, is this going to be the national game again? And let me put it this way. There are a lot of people who are getting turned off, I think, by football and by injuries. I think that basketball is in ascendance and that you're in the right spot for it.
Well, first of all, my mom always said, the harder I work, the luckier I get.
Okay.
Secondly, we have a great commissioner in Adam Silver, a great commissioner who really understands. Of course, you know, we're very close to the entire league and to Adam forever. I have enormous respect for what they've done because they understand the game, they understand their consumers, they understand the brand, and they've done a remarkable job in building it. No disrespect intended to other sports. Is basketball on the ascendancy? Unquestionably.
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 Now, I'm sliding WWE, which is big. Where is that in the firmament, though?
It's growing. You know, we're super excited about the title. We have a long-term relationship with WWE. The game is getting better and better. It's performing better. Just the beginning. That brand used to be much, much bigger.
Right. I never asked you about it in all the years that you've been coming on, but I sense that there's something coming back.
Yeah, it is coming back. So we had another publisher had it, and years ago it did 6-7 million units a year. It's not doing that now, but it's growing. We think there's a great deal of opportunity.
Well,
it's an incredible brand and franchise.
Well, you know, if you can bring that one back, I mean, it's just more gravy.
Well, we've already brought it back.
All right,
it's going to get bigger.
Okay. That's Strauss Zelnick. He's the chairman and CEO of Take-Two Interactive Software. You can see why this stock went higher today. It's got a lot more juice to it. I've got to tell you, long runway. Mad Money's back after the break. Booyah! Jim Cramer here from Mad Money. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube. Click here to subscribe and get the jump on my exclusives with CEOs, plus market news, investing advice, and a whole lot more.